Good morning. Got my coffee. Hope you have yours. This morning, I'd like to talk about two things. The first one is the concept of self. And I shared with you how when I first started working with my students, the first thing I do was have them make a little model of self. I did that at the beginning of this program. I did a model of self, but it didn't mean anything to me. I just did what they told me to do. It was just nothing. It didn't mean anything. I had no concept of self. And I didn't have a concept of self for a few years later. As I was having experiences, I began to go, hey, wait a minute, that's me. This is me. I'm me. But it took 2-3 years for me to recognize me. And this next experience I want to share with you is an experience that I had in Burlingame going across a bridge. What's important about it is I was caught between two worlds. I was in the now part of the time, and I was in my own little world part of the time. And with this experience, those two worlds collided into a meltdown on top of the bridge. So I set the scene. I'm going to set the scene. But that's a preview. So I'm there for a workshop, and one of the teachers who had befriended me said, let's go to town. I was like, yeah, let's go to town. So we decided to walk to town. So we start to walk to town. We realize, hey, we got to go across the bridge. Okay, we're walking along talking, and we get about quarter way up the bridge, and my heart started going really fast. And I started to panic. And my friend's going, it's all right. It's just a bridge. I was like, yeah, just a bridge. Okay. But let me set the scene. It was a bridge that was going up and over a highway. So beside there's a little sidewalk and a chain link fence on one side, and beside us is cars going in both directions. But underneath us is cars going in both directions. A lot of cars. And so all this energy was just flying because they're not going slow. And I was disoriented because of all the energy coming at me. My defenses went up, and my shields were up. I couldn't move. And I began to feel paralyzed. I was stuck right there. Because the cars going this way, it felt like they were going to hit me. I was disoriented. The cars going underneath the freeway felt like they were coming right at me. And there was nowhere to go. I mean, I had cars going really fast right here, but beside me was a chain link fence. I turned to run, and there was no place to run. I was stuck right there. And this poor teacher, she grabbed a hold of my hand, and she was like, okay, give me your hand, to hold me in the now. Now, she was trying her best to keep me in the now. Remember our Davis training, just focus. I'm like, yes, okay, I'm focusing. But it didn't last long. There was too much stimulation. Cars going both ways and all that energy, and then her talking at the same time, and I couldn't handle it. I melted down at the top of that bridge. I kept trying to be in the now. She'd hold my hands and try to get my focus, but I was panicked, and I couldn't move. Mentally, physically, anyway, I couldn't move. Now, emotions were flying all over the place, but I was frozen. And somewhere in the depths of my psyche, I pulled up my inner warrior and looked across the bridge and saw a light bulb. It was a light pole. So I focused on the light pole. And while I was focusing on the light pole, my teacher friend is coaxing me along and pulling me by the hands, and I'm walking while I'm focusing on the light pole. My body's walking towards it. We got to the other end of the bridge. And as we're going, I'm thinking, how long is this bridge? This is the longest bridge I thought this bridge went on for miles. I mean, it just was the longest bridge I had ever encountered. And we got to the other end of the bridge, got to the light pole, and I turned around and looked back. Oh my goodness. That bridge was it just went over a little freeway. It didn't go on for miles and miles, but it felt like it to me. And that experience was monumental because I was experiencing both worlds colliding and clashing at the same time. And it was using the mental tools to get me through it. And as I mentioned, I've created new mental tools that I find easier to use. But the point is, they work. The mental tools that were given to me worked. And the ones that I've created work too. So, but anyway, that was monumental. It was huge. And look, I've told the story and only adding another minute to my video. But anyway, I hope that you're enjoying the videos. If you would like to subscribe, just hit the subscribe button and come along with me on this journey, because there's a lot more like this story to come. And if you like the video, please go ahead and hit the like button. That's a wrap.